Every business wants great looking sales and marketing materials, but for many small businesses, creative agencies are a bit outside their budget. However, new tools from OpenAI and Google are allowing these businesses to create images and videos for their own marketing efforts. Today we're going to look at these tools: OpenAI's image generator, Google's Veo 2, and Google's Whisk, as well as guidelines to get you started creating your own images and videos. I'm Bill Eastman, and this is the AI for Your Business channel. It's the channel business people can come to quickly learn how they can leverage AI. Click on the subscribe button below to be sure not to miss any tips and tools. Today we're going to cover three things. We'll start with a look at these tools, how to access them, and what they cost. Then we'll go over prompting guidelines to create images and videos. And then we're going to end with some use cases in retail, accounting, personal services, and retail. And, we're going to give you some hands-on to give you a sense of how they work. Let's dive in. Our first model is OpenAI's image generator. It works under the covers, so it doesn't matter which model you choose from the drop-down. Just click on the Create Image icon below the text window and describe the image you want. Alternatively, you can upload a photo, say of the storefront of your nail salon, and prompt it to create new marketing images. If you're on the free plan, you can only generate 2 images a day, which obviously makes it tough to hone in to get the image you want. If you're on the $20 a month plan, you get 50 images every 3 hours. Be careful with the model that you're using when you're doing this, though, because you're still subject to the prompt limits for that model. Specifically, the O3 model only gives you 50 prompts a month, so don't use it here. Now, Google has its new Veo 2 model available in the Gemini interface now. Currently, you can only create videos of 8 seconds, so you have to do some pretty clever, editing to create longer videos. You don't have any flexibility with video generation in the Gemini interface, though, so I think it's better to go with Google's AI Studio. AI Studio is a sandbox for developers, but it has tools anyone can use. To create videos, just click on the Video Gen icon in the left menu. That brings you to the Veo 2 window. On the right are some settings you can play with, though not all of them are activated. Just describe your video in the text window, keeping in mind that you're limited to 8 seconds. If you click on this icon, you see you can upload an image, then you can make a video with it as the centerpiece. Note on the right this text box for negative prompts. That's a new concept, basically telling Veo what to avoid in generating an image. We'll return to it. Here's an important point. AI Studio isn't going to save your videos, so you need to download them as you create them. Pricing and usage are a little obscure. I think you can create some videos on the free plan, but I'm not sure. And even on the $20 a month plan, it's a little unclear, or at least how many that you can create. Now, Whisk is still considered an experimental product from Google's DeepMinds lab. It allows you to put multiple components into a scene and then animate that scene using Veo. To get to it, go to labs.google/fx/tools/whisk and then go through the usual Google sign-in process. Once you're in, you see a very different user interface. On the left are 3 boxes for you to enter the image subject, scene, and style. You can upload your own pictures in each or add text descriptions for what you want. If you enter a text description, then text will generate an image which you can use or discard. And depending upon what you're trying to achieve, you don't need to fill in all of the boxes. Once you're done with the boxes, you can then use the prompt window to specify what you want. Or you can dispense with the boxes altogether and just describe what you want as you would with ChatGPT. Once you've generated an image to your liking, then you can click Try Animate and you'll be transferred to Gemini. But as we covered above, you may be better off downloading the image and then loading it to AI Studio for animation. One final note. You may have heard of OpenAI's video generation tool called Sora. I'm not covering today because Veo is significantly better at the moment. There are also some good third-party video generation tools like Kling and Sora. So you may want to check those out as well, especially if you're making more complex videos. Before we get into our use cases, let's go over a few guidelines to get the most from these tools. Obviously, it takes creative talent and skill in envisioning and describing scenes to get the best results. But you can go a long way just by following these guidelines and working with ChatGPT or Gemini Pro to create your prompts. Let's take a look. First, we're going to take a look at the standard image generation guidelines. 1. Clarity is key. Be specific in what you're asking for to get what you want. Second, expect to iterate multiple times to get the final image you want. You're going to have some patience here. Now, when you're creating a subject or an image, you got to have 3 things in mind. First, the subject. What's the object, person, scenery, etc. that you want an image of? Second, context. What sort of background is the subject set in? And third, style. What type of picture is this? Is it like a painting, or is it like a photograph or something else? And when you're doing this, start with your core idea. Keep refining and adding details till you get what you want. And if ChatGPT keeps making errors, then just delete the chat and start over again to get yourself out of that doom loop. And to help you along, especially if you don't have experience, work with ChatGPT or Gemini Pro to develop your prompts. You can even upload pictures that contain different elements of what you want to get ChatGPT's help in describing them. Now, for advanced techniques, I'm going to send you to Google's page on the subject, and it can give you some good detail to really do advanced things. Now, if we move on to video generation, the standard guidelines are pretty similar to those for image generation. So if you want to create a video, though, I'm going to add a few components. First, the action. So what's the subject doing? Then the camera motion. So what's the camera doing during this scene? Is it moving? Is it an aerial view? Is it eye level? Whatnot. The composition. So is this a wide angle, close up, extreme close up? You name it. And the ambiance. So how do the color and light contribute to the scene? Now, once again, for advanced techniques, I'm just going to send you to Google's page again, and there you can once again get some good details on how to do it. All right, now for some use cases. Since the images and videos take a few minutes to create, I've done these in advance, but I'll take you through the steps in the creation process. I'm going to warn you in advance that it takes some patience. Image and video generation is still an imperfect process, especially if you want to maintain specific details. We'll start with realtors and begin with the simplest case, editing a photo. Let's say a realtor has taken pictures for a listing, but some aspects of the staging were perfect when the photos were taken. For example, this kitchen may seem a little stark, so let's change the lighting to make it warmer. Change the time of day in this bright white kitchen photo to the golden hour, making the interior lighting softer with slightly warmer tones, and maintain a photorealistic style. Do not change any other aspects of the photo, such as the decor. That looks pretty inviting, but perhaps it's a bit too dark to properly display the kitchen. And you see the sink and kitchenware on the island are gone. Let's try some edits. Reduce the hue intensity a bit. In the original photo, the island had a sink and kitchenware on it. Please restore those. That's better, but the faucet has changed and the dishes are in the sink instead of next to it. Let's try again. In the original photo, the faucet for the island sink is slightly different, and the kitchenware is on the island next to the sink and not in it. Let's please restore this to how they appeared in the original photo. And it seemed to ignore my directions on the faucet, and the dishes are not in the same place as the original. It could be the model doesn't have the original photo in its memory, but only the current one. So you may only be able to reference the current photo and only that when you're asking for edits. Let's check out a video rendering of the kitchen. This time we'll leave the lighting as it is, but we'll do a simple painting shot across the kitchen. Notice that I've also broken out the entry in the prompt to prompt, style raw, and aspect ratio. Breaking it out in this way may be helpful. Also notice the negative prompt on the right. Here I list things to avoid when rendering the image. I've also reduced the length of the video to 5 seconds. Let's give it a run. Okay, that looks pretty good. It didn't quite fully pan across the kitchen, so you may want to edit the prompt or lengthen the video to 8 seconds. But it did a better job than ChatGPT at maintaining all the elements in the original photo. If you want to create a walkthrough video, then you can stitch several videos together with a software like iMovie. That's a little bit outside the scope of today's episode, though. Our second use case is creating visuals like YouTube thumbnails. You can quickly and easily generate images, although having some creative talent is useful. If you're like me and have no creative talent, then enlist ChatGPT to help you develop something. Here we're a CPA creating how-to videos, in this case explaining the difference between cash flow and profit. So our prompt is title text, cash flow versus profit explain, image, friendly CPA at desk, style, brand colors, aspect ratio, layout. And here's our result. For some reason, the text goes over the edge of the image. If you want to fix that, or if the image just doesn't suit what you want, then regenerate the image a few times. That'll give you some options to choose from. We'll take it a step further and animate the firm's logo. That's a nice touch to add to any social media post or marketing materials. We've loaded our firm's logo, and we give it the following prompt. Animate this logo so that the icon elements swirl in from the left, then converge center stage with a soft blue glow and subtle shine. Let's see how it does. Okay, that's pretty cool. It really adds something, adds some dynamism to our logo. In the third use case, we're going to combine images to display a new dress in a boutique window. We'll go with Whisk for this. As you see, I've already loaded the subject and scene for the image. I've left the style blank because it may not be suitable here. Let's go with the prompt. Place the dress on the standing mannequin, apply soft pastel Art Deco accents, add warm sunlight reflections on the glass, and include subtle summer greenery outside the display. Maintain a photorealistic finish. Wow, that's pretty awesome. However, we see that the pattern on the dress has changed, probably because I unnecessarily added a clause to use soft pastel accents. We could start over with an edited prompt or try to edit the dress using something like Photoshop. Let's try creating an Instagram post from it using ChatGPT. We'll start with this prompt. Create a 1080 by 1350 Instagram post. Overlay the text summer launch May 12. Place the copy on a soft transparent pastel banner. Ensure the text is white with the drop-down shadow. And let's take a look. Okay, that looks Instagram ready. However, the dress has changed some more, so we'll need to work to fix that. We'll try swapping it out with the original dress photo. Okay, not quite there, but pretty close. Keep iterating. One more use case. This time you have a yoga studio and you want to promote a sunrise flow class. We'll create an Instagram carousel to promote it. The carousel will have 5 images, so the prompt's going to be a bit longer. Create 5 1080 by 1080 pixel Instagram carousel images for a sunrise flow yoga class. It's going to have a welcome slide with a dawn skyline, an instructor slide with a rooftop warrior 2 pose, and it's going to have a schedule slide with the hours. It's going to have a benefit slide with bullet points. It's going to have a call to action slide with book today. And it's going to have some instructions on the text as well. So let's run it. And these 4 images seem to align with what we asked for. I think ChatGPT is limited to outputting 4 images from one prompt, so the 5th image we asked for isn't included. Let's include it now. All right, that looks fine. We can load these images to Instagram and create the carousel there. And I think you'll agree this is a quick and easy way to generate great graphics for your own business. Okay, that's it for today. I hope these guidelines and use cases can get you going on creating attention-grabbing graphics for your own business. If you have any questions or would like more details, please leave a comment. Next episode, we're going to look at how to automate activities around the office using Zapier. Zapier and Makes tools allow you to connect and automate all sorts of applications around the office. So, please subscribe to not miss these and other ways to optimize your use of AI. And if you've gotten some value today, please leave a like. Till next time, good luck with your business.